I'm delighted to announce that I'm going to be covering the world's largest GeminiJets model airports here on my YouTube channel. Today, we're going to be talking about the structure of how we're going to do this and overall the incredible opportunity. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into the world's largest GeminiJets model airports, everybody. Alrighty everybody, today we have a launch and just a completely new era here of an extremely exciting opportunity. So first and foremost, I want to give a huge shout out to Brian Keane from AvPro Designs for making this a reality. If you don't know Brian Keane, he's an absolute instrumental influence in the model airport landscape, developing some of the world's most impressive, coolest, and largest die-cast GeminiJets model airports out there. And today I am super excited to share with you all that back in September 2025, I was able to go check out his unbelievably cool displays near the Los Angeles area, and I can just first and foremost say, by seeing it firsthand, it is the real deal. It is the definition of GeminiJets, intricate details, realism, and all kinds of amazing die-cast model aircraft to go with it. So I'm really excited to bring you all multiple videos regarding all of his model airports. I was very fortunate, like I said, when I was there to film multiple videos, and this is going to last for a while. I'm expecting this to go for at least a year or so, but we're going to be covering some of his most impressive model airport projects that he's encountered and developed, and it's truly incredible what he's went through to make this a reality. And it's so cool that we're doing this now because there's quite a bit of media out there about it as well. So of course I'm going to give my perspective and what I noticed when I was there, and we'll give some reflection thoughts and whatnot. But through this you'll be able to check out not only his videos but also other content creators videos like Mile High Aviation, Sam Chewy, for example, and what they have done as well. So before I begin, this is going to be more of a high-level overview of what to expect. We're not going to get into the intricate details of what's going on with his displays today. Those will be their independent videos and whatnot. But what we are going to have here today is kind of the opportunity for you to take a look at it and see kind of what is going to be going on through all the videos that we're going to be producing here, covering all these model airports. And I also just before we get started, Brian Keane, for making this so readily accessible to us, is truly incredible. He is probably one of the coolest model airport builders I know, just in regards to being so open about what he does and how he does it, and answering some of the most obscure questions. But not only just being so open about it, but also just his commitment to what he starts is going to get done. It's so impressive from every last detail. I can only imagine how frustrating it would be to get caught up or frustrated with putting in a light pole, or maybe working on an access road, or doing the 1-inch tiles on the model airports. But he perseveres, he overcomes it. There's a bunch of details and intricate aspects of these displays that I can only imagine how challenging they are. And one big picture as well to go on top of that is he's handmade many of the various airport buildings and other items that you're going to see on these displays through the videos. So for him to be this intricate with all this is just so impressive. So just a huge shout out to you, Brian Keane. We're also going to talk about your team that's made this a reality, on top of all the resources, like I said, that are available for you all to check this out, because this truly deserves an amazing amount of recognition and just overall appreciation for how truly impressive the handcrafted scaled airport dioramas and precision is that goes into what you're going to see here. So like I said, in today's video we're going to outline what to expect, as there's going to be quite a bit going on here. I have several ideas. I have some that are more fixed that I'm for sure going to do, and then depending on the reception and what you all think, we will get as detailed with this as you all want. So with that being said, what we're going to do is go ahead and take a look at the website. We're going to take a look at the video lineup, and we're also going to talk about some general thoughts and once again just what to expect in general. So with that being said, let's go ahead and transition over to that segment. Alrighty everybody, so welcome to avprodesigns.net right here, and this website is an awesome tool to utilize, as Brian Keane has put so much amazing material on here, and it really gives you a good overview of the airport. So here's what the homepage looks like right here, and as you can see, Sam Chewy's video comes up, which, like I mentioned earlier, it is a really great video, so I highly recommend checking that out. In addition to that, you can also see what's going on here with all these model aircraft, so that's looking very nice, and there's some great pictures on here. I've actually covered this before, so definitely check out my video from the summer over this. I wasn't expecting the chance to get to go see this, so that's why I made that. But regardless, I'm very fortunate now to have some incredible material. So we're just going to go through the entire website, and then following this, we'll talk about what to expect video-wise. So Brian Keane himself actually started in the cockpit, which is really cool. He grew up in West Islip, New York in the 1970s, and he would frequently get to go to New York Kennedy Airport to do some plane spotting, which was really cool. He really observed it, and he really became fascinated and just overall interested by what the operations looked like and so forth. So with that being said, he actually ended up getting a bachelor's degree in aviation management from FIT, I believe, yes, while working simultaneously on his pilot ratings, which is really cool. So he actually took off with Pan Am in London, which is very cool with international flights. That's so cool. And he would fly to Berlin and many other places. He was able to innovate with People Express in Newark in 1982, and that's really was a great time for him to start working on the startup airline. And as the landscape adapted, Brian was able to make it over to Continental Airlines following that merger, and later on United Airlines in 2011. He actually ended up being the director of operations, and later United's worldwide baggage operations managed it. A pivotal position for the airline for sure, no doubt about that. He retired in 2016 and briefly returned as the VP for operational excellence at Aviation. His second retirement that he decided on would go with his childhood fascination of JFK. He created a 1:400 scale diorama, which that is at the TWA Hotel in New York at Kennedy Airport, and I do have a video on that here in the future that will be released. But anyway, with AbPro Designs, he has a team specializing in the highly detailed, historically accurate miniature airport displays with all the artboard, the die-cast models, 3D components, and all of it is here today that we're going to get to check out. So he captures not only the technical beauty of aviation, but definitely the nostalgia and, you know, all of the emotion that goes with it to him, which I think is just so cool. So here he is with that aforementioned TWA display, and again, a video on that will be coming out in the future. So let's go ahead and take a look at his team, as it's so impressive. So like we mentioned previously, Brian Keane, he was with Pan Am, People Express, Continental, and United, and even ABM Aviation. So he's the foundation of all of what comes to life with this. You have Calcium Villegas, hopefully I said that right. But anyway, personal illustration graphic designer, very dedicated as a FAA certified aircraft dispatcher. She has some really great work here that she's able to bring with the operational expertise. Next, you have Ryan Keane. This is the 34-year-old, lighting expert who specializes on the lighting systems for designing the displays, which is one truly incredible aspect of these model airports with the lights. So really appreciate his efforts for making it a reality to have them light up. We obviously know Jake Martinez, obviously the founder of Jet Set Models, making it a reality, not only with his efforts on the ground service equipment, but also all the attention to detail he's able to help with these model airports. So huge shout out to Jake there. We have Rodriguez Villegas as well. So he's the mechanical engineer and licensed general contractor who's worked all kinds of work for Medallion Metro Systems, which is very cool. So there's all the information on that, which is quite awesome. So it's great to see what he's doing with the commitment here of all of these AbPro design projects. And then you also have Andy from Tarmac Designs, obviously making many of the various buildings and other features for the model airport. So we greatly appreciate his effort as well. So it's truly an incredible team, and it's great to see everybody coming together to put this together. It's so impressive. So there's the full gallery here. We won't take a look at this today, as that's what the upcoming videos will be about, but definitely check out the pictures here for Los Angeles, New York John F. Kennedy, London Heathrow, and then you got some really exciting projects in the works, including Mumbai, which was getting put together as I was there. So that's really cool. You'll have the Hong Kong airport display coming, which is so impressive, Paris Charles de Gaulle, and Tokyo Narita. So I can't believe he's taken on all this. So hopefully a future visit will be in the reality, and that hopefully will be the segue off of this initial video series. So I haven't decided exactly what we're going to call this. We'll probably call it assessing the world's largest model airports, or just world's largest model airports, just diving into it and really giving that the appreciation and recognition it deserves. So it's truly incredible, and I greatly appreciate Brian Keane's, dedication with his team to make this a reality. As I mentioned previously, they have started uploading to their YouTube channel, so definitely check it out. There's a bunch of great videos on the whole display and so forth, some very long videos, including time lapses and other projects, but the really long videos are very cool to really get a good idea of the behind the scenes and how it looks. But it is a really up and rising channel, so definitely check it out. It is very cool to see it all come together, and I very much appreciate his efforts. And in addition to this, you even have some really cool media going on here with all of the displays. Like I mentioned, TWA Hotel has the display, they're highlighting it in these various articles and whatnot. And then this is at that museum, I believe, too. And Airways Magazine's covered it. You had the Metropolitan Airport News, and it's just so cool to see all of it come together. It's really, really impressive. So you have that going on, and then if you have any questions, you can contact them right here, because when you have this much going on, there's definitely going to be questions about particular aspects and whatnot, which hopefully the upcoming video series will help to show you all kind of what's going on and a little bit more information. So this is the announcement video here today, and then once again, I do intend to make this last as long as possible. There's many ways I can add twists and turns to this, so I'd love this to be a series that goes on for a very long time, and I do believe that it certainly can. So here's the current situation of what we have going on as of what I'm expecting now. But that final summary video probably will get pushed back as far as possible. But this is just the initial round with what I currently have and what I currently could do with what I was able to gather there during my visit. So I filmed 4 actual videos there, an overview of all the airports, the overview of London Heathrow display, the New York John F. Kennedy display, and the Los Angeles display. So those are 4 formal videos that were filmed there. No cuts. They were full videos. So those will be 4 really cool videos, and I was able to narrate them and so forth. So they'll be really great. So those 4 videos, they'll be spread out. So you can expect one of those every 3 months or so. Once again, just depending on when I get the opportunity to go back, if I do, and what's next. But I do believe that there's a good chance that I'll be able to go back, hopefully. So very hopeful for that, and obviously that can expand where those will be placed, but those will be fundamental videos to this video series. In addition to that, if you all would like to see it, I would be happy to interview multiple people that are involved here. Brian Keane himself, obviously, kind of like the CEO of the projects, if you will. Bringing it all together, I think would be a great interview, so let me know. And along with Jake from Jet Set Models, like I said, I think that he would make for a great interview, not only for this, but also just what he does in general. So let me know if you all would like to see that. But if we did do that interview, and same for Andy from Tarmac Designs as well, we obviously would discuss not only how they relate to the largest airports on the team, but also their products in general. So I definitely would like to do some of these just to give you all another perspective of what this looks like, especially from the creators themselves. So I think that'd be really cool. I also obviously took many pictures, and to get more of a stop frame analysis of what's going on in each of these pictures, I think videos on each airport, including an overview of all the airports, would be really smart. So that's what the overview of pictures is right there for Heathrow, Kennedy, Los Angeles, and then the final reflection obviously would include all the videos. And I did forget to mention this, so my bad, but I actually have content and footage of some aircraft that were on display. So kind of like what you've seen through the trips when I cover aircraft and glass cabinets. We'll make a few videos. There was one really good display of 1 to 200 big aircraft that was on the top level of the room. Actually, I forgot several on here. I didn't mean to rush this, but I did forget a couple. But nevertheless, I'll explain them to you here real quick. So that top level, that will be one. And then there was a 4th table in the back of the display room that had like probably 50 models on it. So we'll make a video discussing both of those. In that display as well, there was also a couple other cool pieces. There was a American Airlines Boeing 767 fuselage there with a full cockpit and seats. We'll make a full video on that. It was really impressive. And then hopefully if I get the chance to go back anytime in the near future, there was a flight simulator there that was not operational when I was there, so I don't have any footage of flying it. But hopefully if I get a chance to go back, I'll be able to do a more formal session filming it. So that will be last. Either I'll cover what I have with pictures, or I will hopefully get some additional footage. So, and as I mentioned earlier, new airports will be coming. Mumbai was in assembly when I was there, and then the frame was coming in from Hong Kong, I believe, and then obviously Paris and Tokyo were mentioned there as well. So my hope is that I'll be able to go back either once a couple more of the airports have been done, or maybe when all those airports are done. I'm not sure what the time frame on them is, but I know Mumbai is already up. I think in Mile High's video you'll see that, and so forth. And then also with the upcoming displays, I'm sure that a few more of them will be getting going here in the coming months. So I will let you all know what the time frame is on a return visit if I'm able to, and I greatly appreciate their invites in advance because they were so nice to invite me to go check that out. And again, I'll be sure to give the utmost appreciation and so forth through all these videos. So you're definitely going to want to check it out. So I'm just so fortunate to get to cover this here for you all. It's truly incredible work, and you'll be hearing the word appreciative and just all the appreciation in the world. I think that's the big word that will definitely, recognition that will be going into these videos when making them. So I hope all of you are excited for this. If you have any particular videos you'd like to see that I didn't mention here today, please comment below. I think that this is going to be a instrumental aspect to the channel that we get to cover this. It is so impressive to see some of these airports and their details, not only the size, but just how impressive they are down to detail. This is pure model aircraft glory, and I'm so excited to get to cover it for you all here today. So yeah, feel free to ask any questions like I said, but this is going to be fun. I'm expecting this to probably be a monthly video series. Again, it really depends on that next visit. If I'm not able to visit again, then we'll see what happens, but I am pretty confident and hopeful that that will be a reality. So I'm expecting this to be a monthly video series. This will probably go on as long as I can make it happen, but definitely through 2026 and beyond. So I'm really excited to cover this, and it's definitely inspiring to the future, and hopefully maybe one day you and I and everybody in between will be able to make this a reality. So feel free to let me know what you think. But that will do it for today's video, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. Trust the process. Do you love and love you do. My name's CM Aviation. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon as CM Aviation is signing off.